Well, there's just about a week to go now for the lockdown to end, and already the debate and discussion is it going to be extended or is it not? At least some reports are coming out, quoting sources in the government, to say that a number of states have asked for an extension of the lockdown, and therefore that might be something that's considered. Many others, of course, are not entirely sure about that, because there are large parts of the country where there's not that much spread of the virus, and so it's not crystal clear why there needs to be an extended nationwide lockdown. Of course, hotspots need to be locked down some more, but does the entire country to be locked down? Well, we'll wait and see what the government finally decides. But of course, the actual number of cases and the case trajectory is probably going to be the crucial factor to keep an eye on in the next 3 or 4 days. Now, we are getting a slightly mixed picture. The Ministry of Health this morning put out a report saying there were only something like 354 fresh cases in the previous 24 hours. If that's the case, then there's a certain amount of flattening of the curve taking place. But other data sources, such as Johns Hopkins and others, are pointing to a slightly different picture. So I guess we've got to wait for the data to be completely sure, and then we'll see what the government will decide. Now, the second big thing that everyone was debating today was hydroxychloroquine. Yeah, I know it's really tough to pronounce that, but it's really been in everyone's attention, especially after Donald Trump last night threatened retaliation against India if it did not permit the export of that particular drug, which is an anti-malarial drug, to the United States. Now, it's an anti-malarial drug, but a couple of studies have said it may be helpful in fighting COVID 2019. Remember, those are not conclusive reports by any stretch of imagination, but at least Trump seems to believe it's really important. And this morning, India finally did say that yes, it would permit the export of this and other medication, after, of course, making sure that India's own needs were taken care of. So it's been a reasonably eventful day. Here's a quick look at everything that's happened.
The centre may extend the nationwide lockdown announced to stem the spread of the coronavirus pandemic beyond the 14th of April, say reports. An ANI report quoting government sources said a lot of state governments as well as experts are requesting the centre to extend the lockdown. The report also added that the centre is thinking in this direction. Union Minister Rajnath Singh said the government has not taken any decision on extending the lockdown yet. On Monday, Union Minister Prakash Javadekar had said that the centre will take a decision to end the restrictions at the right time, which will be in the interests of the nation and its people. The sharp rise in the number of COVID-19 cases across the country is believed to be the reason for several state governments seeking an extension of the lockdown. Telangana Chief Minister KCR is among the state leaders who has sought an extension of the 21-day lockdown. Congress President Sonia Gandhi has written to the Prime Minister demanding more austerity measures from the government in the wake of the COVID-19 crisis. Welcoming salary cuts for MPs, Sonia has suggested a complete ban on government and PSU advertisements in TV and print media for 2 years. She has also urged the Prime Minister to suspend the 20,000 crore rupees Central Vista beautification project, which she has said seems self-indulgent at this time. She has also suggested a 30% pay cut for government staff and bar on foreign travels for the Prime Minister and his ministers. She has further called for transfer of money in the PM Cares Fund to the PM Relief Fund to ensure transparency and efficiency. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal announced a 5-point action plan to treat COVID-19 patients in the capital. Addressing a media, he listed the 5 T's: testing, tracing, teamwork, treatment, along with tracking and monitoring. Kejriwal said currently 2,950 beds are reserved for COVID-19 patients in the capital and 3,000 patients can be treated as of now. But if the number goes up, his government is equipped to increase the number of beds in hospitals. He added over 1 lakh people will be tested for COVID-19 over the next few days, along with randomized testing at hotspots.
कई लोगों से बातचीत करने के बाद हमने 5 स्टेप 5 बिंदुओं का हमने प्लान बनाया है कि हम आने वाले दिनों में दिल्ली में कोरोना को कैसे नियंत्रित करेंगे।
US President Donald Trump on Monday hinted at a possible retaliation if India does not lift its ban on the export of anti-malarial drug hydroxychloroquine, which is used in the treatment of coronavirus patients. Trump, speaking from the White House during the coronavirus task force briefing, said that India does very well with the US and he sees no reason why India would not lift the hold on the US order of the medicine. Amid novel coronavirus outbreak, India has lifted restrictions on the export of 24 pharmaceutical ingredients and medicines. The restrictions had been imposed last month after the coronavirus outbreak disrupted global supply chains. The bans had prompted intense pressure from the United States. India's decision followed a telephone call on Saturday between Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and US President Donald Trump, in which US President requested lifting of ban on exports of anti-malarial drug that is used in treatment of COVID-19 patients. Soon after the government eased restrictions on exports of 24 drugs, External Affairs Ministry clarified that India will supply key drugs linked to a coronavirus cure to nations that have been badly affected by the pandemic. The Foreign Ministry added that India would license paracetamol and anti-malarial drug hydroxychloroquine in appropriate quantities to all neighboring countries who are dependent on our capabilities and also to the countries that are badly hit. US President Donald Trump had raised the issue of exports with Prime Minister Modi and had threatened retaliation if India didn't ease.
Congress leader Rahul Gandhi on Tuesday said that while India must help all countries in their fight against coronavirus, life-saving medicines should be made available to Indians in ample quantities first. Rahul tweeted, "Friendship isn't about retaliation." His reaction came after the government said India would export anti-malarial drug hydroxychloroquine to several countries in sync with its commitment to the international community.
The first study claiming anti-malaria drug hydroxychloroquine as an effective treatment for COVID-19, which triggered US President Donald Trump's enthusiasm for its widespread use, has now been slammed by the same group that publishes the journal in which the paper first appeared. The International Society of Antimicrobial Chemotherapy has said that the study that appeared in its journal did not meet its standard. Other health experts have also cited serious problems with the study, including questions about its ethical underpinnings, messy confounding variables, missing patients, rushed and conflicted peer review, and confusing data.
Hydroxychloroquine, the anti-malaria drug that has been creating quite the stir. Donald Trump has been pushing the drug and encouraging patients to take it. India also agreed to lift a ban on the drug hours after the US president hinted at a possible retaliation. A report by the New York Times now suggests that Trump himself has a small personal financial interest in Sanofi, the French pharmaceutical company that makes Palanquinil, the brand name version of hydroxychloroquine. The report also suggests that several other pharmaceutical companies also stand to profit, including those with shareholders that have connections to Trump.
India's unemployment rate spiked to the highest level recorded in 43 months in March, the Centre for Monitoring Indian Economy or CMI said on Tuesday. The unemployment rate stood at 8.7% in March, the highest since September 2016, climbing steeply from 7.16% in January. The report comes as India entered the 14th day of a 21-day nationwide lockdown to curb the spread of the deadly coronavirus. The unemployment rate during this last week was 23.8%.
Xerox has announced it's partnered up with Vortran Medical Technology to mass-produce disposable ventilators to help fight the COVID-19 pandemic. The copier giant has said it will scale production of Vortran's pre-existing GO2 ventilator design and APM Plus airway pressure monitor, taking production numbers to 40,000 in April and up to 200,000 a month by June. The disposable ventilator, which costs around $120, is not a replacement for machines used in ICUs for critically ill patients, but is better equipped to handle lower and medium-risk patients, freeing up traditional ventilators for those that need them most. The gas-operated device can run on a compressor, oxygen or air for up to 30 days, and the goal is to make as many as 1 million units for both the US and global markets.